Hello, my dear friends of the human family, and welcome to another update here from the Gnostic Takeover CommonUnity that has formed over the last month or so. And I wanted to take the time here to reflect a little bit about the year, what's been going on, sharing a little bit of my journey through the year of crisis in 2020 and also the year of opportunity of 2020, which is going to continue into 2021. Crisis and opportunity being on different sides of the same coin. It's also the same word in Chinese, I have learned. And I also want to say Merry Christmas to everyone who's celebrating that. I'm celebrating that myself with my family, to take time out with the family here. And although I'm not in any way, shape, or form Christian, as I cannot be a Christian when I'm based in nature, studying natural law principles, magic, and how to take down sorcery that has been ruling over this planet, which is also the foundation of the Christian religion. So I'm sorry for anyone who's religious in that direction. That's your choice. And you can also do religion from a completely different perspective. But anyways, it doesn't matter. We all choose what we want to do, and as long as we don't harm any other sentient beings with the actions that we take, we are well on our journey. So, yeah, Merry Christmas to all of you, wherever you are. It's been a very challenging year, hasn't it? But it's also been, for me, actually the best year of my life. It's been beautiful. I actually have to say that when you look at it from the sort of bird's eye perspective of all of this, the whole system is doing us a favor, actually, because I'm one of the people who have been running around since 2012 without a smartphone. I do still have a phone, actually got it right here with me. I don't often use it really, especially not the last few months, because I want to get rid of it altogether. But because I've not had a smartphone since 2012, I have been observing this mind virus spreading throughout the world of collectivist ideology and of machine-like thinking. Everyone in the tube, like everyone in the trains and everywhere. This is the very problem that we face. It's inactivity, passiveness, conformity, distraction from reality, and most of all, distraction from ourselves. And it's this distraction from ourselves and being trapped in the entertainment and the phenomenon of what's going on around us, being trapped in the outside world, that has disconnected us from our feelings and emotions, and therefore has disconnected us from the life force energy that is the true source of power. Life is a feeling, and we need to reconnect with that feeling of life and ask the question, what does the source, or in other terms, what does my heart soul essence, as a connection to the source, as a connection to my greater being, what does it want from me in manifesting that crisis all around us? Because ultimately this matrix control system is serving the evolution of our species. The matrix is a part of natural law, an incomplete part of natural law, And there is the paradox, you see. The matrix control system is slavery and school for evolution at the same time. Think of a coin that has two sides to it. And creation is paradoxical. How can everything be nothing? Well, because everything comes from nothing at the same time. Life is a paradox. And as in the Hermetic teaching is said, that through Hermeticism, and what it means is the application of the principles of the life force energy, the principles of source, the principles of natural law, call it whatever you want, that in the Hermetic teaching and through the study of it and application in your life, all paradoxes may be reconciled. So yes, I've taken this year to really get to the bottom of how we can solve this situation that we're in. When I started off the year, actually celebrating New Year completely on my own for the first time in my life. Why? Because I didn't feel connected to any of the people that were offering me to join them in their New Year's celebration. So I stayed on my own. And before that, before this whole thing kicked off in March 2020, I was doing talks all across Austria about the topic of 5G, the implementation of it, and talking about the Internet of Things and the digitalization of life, how they were creating an artificial reality from an AI mainframe, replacing life with machines, which is replacing life with death, actually. And I was destined to speak in front of more than 1,000 people, and then the lockdown happened. It's actually organized by a council outside of Vienna, and it didn't happen. And everything changed from there. And I was like, what the fuck am I going to do now? No income coming in, couldn't do my talks anymore. Nothing. And unless it's really existentially necessary. I don't register with the government support communist system, because I think the very principle of government is exactly the problem, because government means mind control etymologically. So what did I do? I started navigating the matrix with natural law principles, and I went into the online world, created my own YouTube channel for the first time. And before I did that, I actually managed to make some money by helping a student write her thesis about influencers. Yeah, life is pretty humorous. And I was writing this about influencers, and I was like, hang on a minute, what's going on here? Am I gonna become an influencer to influence people and be a cool influencer in... No, I don't do that. I don't do that. I want to do it differently. And yeah, that's how I set up my channel. And I'm very happy I did that. So it's led to the next step that's happening now. And this is a principle. I never know what the next step is going to be. So I really went into the unknown with the lockdown. I had no clue where I'm going to make money from or how to support myself. And look, see, it's December. I've got no debts. Things are just working. And I feel, and it's very important to only ever know the next step, because it's leading to somewhere. And when we just follow those, we'll get where we want to be. And it's taken me now 6 months to create, or more than 6 months to create Navigating the Matrix episode 7. It's still pending. It's after Christmas you'll get it, and it's going to be a 2-hour intriguing deep dive and analysis of what the Matrix is in heart-based intelligence terms. Because I just speak from the heart. I just, off the get-go, I just start off. And I don't edit anything because I don't even know how to edit something. I would have to learn that from someone still, which I'm looking forward to, because we're upping our ante now. So after episode 7 of Navigating the Matrix, me and Errol want to start a weekly Zoom call with the community. And that's only going to be the start. We also have a website scheduled, which we're going to do for the new year and really take it off. But what's important for us, that's why I wanted to do this video also, is that there's more coming now. And we really want to connect on a much, 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 much deeper level with our community, because there's no accident you're watching this. It's no accident you're part of our Telegram group. If you're not yet, please join us. We want to connect on a deeper level with you, because I've gone through this year, really jumping into the cold water. And actually, me and Errol, we do this every day together, because we live together like brothers. And we jump into the ice cold river. Oh, and it's so healing. Always do something different, How do we get out of the matrix? Always do something different to what everyone else is doing. But I think we've got a lot to share also for ourselves, because that's how the teaching process works, the learning process. When you teach, you learn, you teach. And we really want to be that guiding light for other people also to exit the matrix and really live the life of your dreams, what your heart is yearning for. That's what I've been confronted with this year, and it's worked out really well. I still don't have a proper income. I'm very thankful to the people who support us as Patreon supporters, where I'm up to $180, but that me and Errol share with each other. We share everything just to get us through. And we want to up that to the next level so we can, it's a process to become really sovereign. And since August, I've been off the governmental support money of comfort, and it feels really good. And that's what we want to help people to become sovereign, and we'll learn even more. It's a beautiful synergetic effect that happens, and synergy is the antithesis to entropy. And entropy, another word for entropy, is the involutionary force, which is manifested through the Archon realm. Call it Satan, the Demiurge, the Matrix control system. Synergy is the way forward, and that's what we want to create here. The Gnostic Takeover CommonUnity get together, and I think we can do some very powerful things. So that's also something that I've focused on in this year, was to become sovereign, and I have a lot to share in that. So that's for anyone who really wants to get to their basis. Okay, we teach heart-based intelligence, how to access it. And when you do this, when you've got a continuous habit that you're creating, like a weekly Zoom call that we're gonna do, your mind is coming into alignment with the heart, and you regularly get remembered yourself that you're doing this. You're coming into your full power. So that's going to be really interesting and powerful, and I'm really looking forward to it. Source calling us. to do this, and we're really looking forward to that exchange. So stay tuned to that. We're definitely going to have an update on that, because there's going to be many more things happening. I'm going to be having my weekly show. Also, and Errol is going to have a weekly show. We're going to do lots of videos also. And we're going to do things together also. It's going to be really nice. Might even interview other people. It's beautiful. We get all sorts of perspectives, and we'll see how we can set this up. And also as a year review, don't want to make this too long, what I've given to the world in this year is how to solve the cause of the problem that we find ourselves in. My name is Whybrow, okay, that's why I deal with the why of the question. Why are we in this situation? This leads to remembering what it is ultimately about. Why is the one question that brings us to the causal level of reality. And I've found out that, because it's one of the natural law principles is cause and effect. There's an effect to every cause that is set. The higher the causes rule over the lower causes, you see. That's a hermetic principle. The more it is aligned with natural law principles, when you set that as a causality, it rules over the lower causes. So that's why alignment with natural law is higher than any matrix cause. And that's how you change reality. What I realized is you get into the causality, onto the analogy of the projector and the screen, the projector projecting onto the screen reality that we experience all around us. Reality is not outside of ourselves, it's actually something that's being projected inside of ourselves. And the way to access the projector is the key question. And that can only be accessed by penetrating and going into the unknown, leaving the fishbowl syndrome, the bubble reality of your comfort zone, and challenging that comfort zone. That's how we change it. That's how we change everything. And by penetrating into the unknown, outside of the comfort zone, is where all evolution happens, and we're out of the involutionary loop. And we're in alignment with evolution. Evolution always wants to do new things. New things mean to go into the unknown. And then from there, we are the most powerful creator beings that we can be. And there's so much power in us. And I've delved into the unknown a lot this year. I've been standing on stages. Like every week, I'm in Linz talking to people. I've never done this before up to this year. No preparation, no nothing, just get on the stage and boom. What the source want me to talk about today? And it just comes. And I was standing on a stage telling the police that they're protecting criminals. 3 times in a row I said that, and in total I said it I think 8 times. What happened? Nothing. Because your very right action and doing something different is your very protection. This is a very important video that we're also going to do in the future, me and Errol. We've already talked about this. How does protection by the source work? How can you be fully protected by the source? Why can't they kill David Icke or take people like me out? Although I put in a notice of liability to the Austrian president, telling him directly that he's privately liable. Why don't I get taken out? Why? Because I know how protection works, and I know how the nature of reality works. You see? That's how you change everything. Only when you're in action are you really protected. When you're on your couch, there is no protection. It's called hiding. So what I brought forward this year, what I dedicated my time to, is to find out how liability works. And that's the solution to everything we face in the world. It's the number one message from the planetary mother, planetary intelligence, our Mother Earth. Human beings take responsibility, which is the ability to respond to a situation. How do we respond? We need to take responsibility. And in this system, the only self-correcting mechanism is through responsibility, which in this system, this monetary-based system, is through liability. And where these dark occultists are hiding is behind a pyramid of control. That's why every government institution, every basic industry, any basic company is structured in a pyramidical way. And the people that are enacting crimes against humanity through what's going on right now, they're hiding behind that very pyramid. Hiding behind a pyramid. And what happens is that responsibilities put down the levels to the political sphere, and the political sphere always wants to get away with responsibility through acting irresponsibly and causing harm and damage, and they put it to the people. And that closes a electric circuit when we don't take responsibility ourselves. We pay the price for it. So the way you can shachmat this system is when anyone tells you to wear a mask, when anyone tells you to take the vax or wants to test you, you just write down on a piece of paper notice of liability and put in the information. You're telling me I'm not responsible for myself, therefore it must be you who takes responsibility for the actions you're going to cause, which is gonna cause harm. You can write this in whatever way you want. I do not consent with this, therefore please sign a notice of liability because this is going to cause damage. The reason why you do this is because in any court case, anywhere in court, the key question that would be asked because in a court setting they always have to look for someone who's responsible. They can't just come up and say, well, we've got this court case here and it looks like no one's responsible for what happened, so therefore we close it. It's not going to happen, you see. And the key question they ask is, have you been notified of your liability? And no one's going to sign that. Wherever I've done this, no one is signing a notice of liability. And they want to make you think complicated. You just put in the information you want to put in there, and the things you need to look out for is that you withdraw your consent, and through this you're acting as a sovereign being, and you're only accountable to yourself. Everyone outside of you is not allowed to do that, and this is the self-correcting mechanism of the system. And that's how you take down any pyramid of control. That's powerful knowledge, because no one can touch you then, because you're getting the learning lesson. And you put on the crown of the C word, okay? It means crown, that's crowning, that's the learning lesson. Act responsibly. Act sovereign. And that's how you take down criminal sovereignty. Natural law is about sovereignty, whereas this matrix control system is about criminal sovereignty. And that's what we have in this situation. We've got the system protecting criminals, and criminals that act as sovereigns. but they only act as sovereigns, and they only pretend they're not accountable to anything because they are hiding behind this pyramid structure. And that's what I brought to the world. And whoever you can face in your everyday experience, you can use that mechanism, and you're totally free. No one can force anything onto you. And you have to be strong in your being that this is like that, because that's where the integration of this information comes in, and then using that information. And I sent it to the president of Austria, the notice of liability, because he's the one on the top of the pyramid that you can still face in this system, because behind him, obviously, you go deeper into the web of the unseen, okay, secret society networks and all that. So yeah, that's what I brought to the world, and I'm going to continue to working along those lines, and to not do it under common law, but under natural law principles. I'm trying to simplify things, because as I said also, I'm the diplomat for the planet. The diplomat of the planet says, okay, the discussion starts with natural law, it ends with natural law, and everything in between is a copy of natural law, which is a contract, and a contract has to be insured because it has to be very clear who takes the liability for damages caused. Boom. That's how it should be, and that's how the diplomat of the planet speaks and how he acts. Because if it is not in place in the system already now, that's the big thing with insurance that I found out, that the matrix is a system of insurance based on contracts. And when things are not insured, the person enacting that legislation is privately liable. Because every law, so-called law in their legalese, is a contract, and every contract has to be insured and has to be very clear who takes the liability. And they really hate me for that knowledge. It's very simple, and if you meditate on it, it's beautiful, because that's how it is. Everything is already under natural law. Okay, you don't have to write on a piece of paper. It's redundant because it is contained within the fabric of the reality that you're experiencing. In the space-time continuum, in this holographic projected reality that we experience, it's embedded right into the fabric that you get the consequences for your behavior reflected in the reality that you experience. That's all done under natural law. Simply, it starts and ends with natural law. Any discussion of how we're going to move into the new earth. And everything that you want to do outside of natural law, you do a contract. And that contract has to be based on insurance and liability. So everything's clear. And that's the self-correcting mechanism. Okay, and I want to end this video. It's already gone on longer than I thought. That's what happens, you see. Lots to share. That's why we're doing more after Christmas, and we really look forward to it, and we hope that you're up for that. Please subscribe to our Telegram group underneath, and go on to BitChute, because I don't want to be on YouTube anymore. The 21st of December 2020. The way I see it, that conjunction is an energetic upgrade, which is a processing upgrade, okay? And we need to face the situation. We have more power behind us now to do that, and we need to act according to that. That's why we have to get into action. Before we get into action, we need to find a place of balance within ourselves. So we have an energetic upgrade, and it's going to get even wilder and crazier, which is good, because life is, it's coming forward now, and we can really take them on, and we'll take back our country, we'll take back our planet, no problem. I already see the visions of walking into government institutions and tell them it starts with natural law, ends with natural law, everything else is a contract, has to be insured, and it has to be clear who takes liability. Any questions? And boy, That's how you speak to criminals. Okay, and we're taking over, fully taken over. I have no doubt in my mind that we're totally taken over, and that's why we're forming community all around the world. And hello, Kim. I'm sorry that I've not gotten yet to writing down the points on what my notice of liability is based on, but I'm gonna do it and also make a video on it and teach you how you can hold your government liable. And without getting into any trouble, we're going to teach you that. It's all based on natural law principles, Gnosticism, how you create reality, how nothing can hack your reality. We're going to go into all of that, and we're all going to learn how the matrix really operates through doing that and really becoming free. What's my ultimate aim in all of this? Freedom. Freedom. Freedom for humanity, nothing else. And that's what we're moving into together, and I couldn't be more grateful to be able to do this. And that's the beauty of real teaching. I studied history and mathematics at the University of Vienna to become a teacher. I've never taught in school. Wasn't meant to, because I'm not that kind of teacher. Teaching is learning and teaching. We're always constantly learning. Through the synergetic effect, it's going to be amazing. I'll be learning from you, you'll be learning from me, you'll be learning from Errol, and the energy is just going to flow around, and we're all going to be incredibly empowered. We might have to cry a bit at times. It's great. Let's express our emotions. Let's be honest with them and express our righteous anger towards these criminals by taking them down. Notice of liability, they hate it because they want to get away with their immoral behavior, but they can't anymore because it's gotten through. Let's do this together and join the Gnostic Takeover CommonUnity. We're building the new earth, one step at a time, coming into our power, being honest with ourselves and being our true greater being that we already are, and then pulling that into this reality and shining the light for everyone to see. We are humanity, we are powerful, and I love this species. I love all of you, wonderful human beings. And I can't wait to get this started together with you. So stay tuned. Now's the time. Don't trepidate. Don't be afraid. Don't think it's all lost or anything. It's just starting now. And this could be the unique opportunity we all were looking for to take down the matrix. Alright, take very good care. Have a wonderful Christmas, and I speak to you soon.